this is the thing. Learning to trust you in a world which does not empower you to trust yourself. A world which really does not want you to be in tune with who you are, because when you're empowered, you can create incredible change. No one outside of you has the answer or the solutions to help you fix you. You have everything that you need inside of yourself. Welcome to this episode of the Heard podcast. I'm your host, Deb Sarah, and today I wanted to talk about the concept of healing. I know at the moment within the community, I've been speaking to many people who have been talking to me about feeling a little bit stuck. We had an episode on that, I think it was 2 episodes ago, but really being unsure for future direction and feeling very emotionally overwhelmed and going through a bit of a difficult time at the moment. And so we've been having a lot of discussions about what is healing and what does that look like. And so I thought today we could do a little bit of a deep dive into what healing is and how you might move through a bit of a healing journey, what that could look like for you on a day-to-day basis. So I thought I'd start the episode by asking you a question. What does healing mean to you? Because it really is a word that is thrown around quite a lot. I'm on my healing journey. You've got to be healed. Let's all heal. But what does that even mean? Because I think it means something different at each point of where you are in your journey. And it definitely means something very different to me now in comparison to what it maybe meant for me 10 years ago. And even the word healing for me now, I'm shifting on how I feel about even using that word, because quite a few of the words that I think in the wellness industry, they can come quite corrupted in a way. I'm not sure if corrupted is the best word for that, but they lose their actual meaning. And the wellness industry kind of latches onto something because it becomes popular and easy to sell to. And so I've been thinking about this a lot, and I was on my walk this morning with Mango out in the sun, and I get a lot of my thoughts and ideas when I'm walking out in nature in the mornings. I was thinking for myself specifically, a word to use for healing I prefer is growth. Because the word healing, and I don't know about you, maybe it speaks differently to you, but the word healing to me, it always felt like it meant I was a little bit broken. That maybe there was something wrong with me, a hole inside me, and that I needed to be fixed. And the reason why I'm moving more towards the word growth is because growth doesn't imply that there's anything wrong with you. The concept of growth, it means that you are already perfect just the way you are. You've got everything that you need. It just implies that we're moving along a journey to improve what we've already got rather than fix something that's broken. So maybe that's something to think about for yourself as well. I will keep using the word healing and interchangeably with growth, just because I think it's the same with when I spoke about the word survivor and how, to me, I didn't really like that word and what it meant. However, it's a word that people know, and so it's easy for you to then understand what I'm talking about when I use these words. But what would it be like to potentially change the language that we're using to talk to ourselves? Because I know I'm going on about this quite a bit, but it's so important, the words that we use to speak to ourselves, because words carry energy, vibration, and meaning and feelings. And so when we say the word healing, how does that make you feel versus the word growth? And when I say growth, it makes me excited. It makes me want to go out and do something. It makes me want to go out and challenge myself. It gives me energy. But when I use the word healing, it kind of freaks me out a little bit. I don't know about you, but it makes me feel heavy and maybe that it's a big mountain to climb. So let's go back to that word for you. What does the word healing mean? What does it mean to heal? As I mentioned before, the word healing can quite often come with this concept of feeling broken and needing to be fixed. And the issue here is that this concept has really been weaponized by the wellness industry. This idea that when we believe that we need to be fixed, we're always looking outside of ourselves for that solution. So is it the next diet? Is it, the next surgery? Is it the next relationship? What is it that we believe that's outside of ourselves that needs to be fixed? Or is it that because we believe that we have a hole inside of us, or we're not whole, that we need to go to a specific guru or person to tell us exactly what we need? And I do have this quite a lot with my clients, and just in a conversation the other day where someone said to me, well, what do you think that I need? How can I fix myself? What should I do? While I believe in getting advice from other people, no one outside of you has the answer or the solutions to help you fix you. You have everything that you need inside of yourself. And I get it. I know. When I first came across these concepts of, you're perfect just the way you are and you have all the answers inside of yourself, it did not resonate, and it didn't feel true and good. And this can be also because of the conditioning that we've been given by society. We've been conditioned, as I just said, to believe that all of the solutions are outside of ourselves. So when we first start to hear and believe, oh, maybe I actually can heal myself, it can also be scary, because it also means that then you have power inside of yourselves. And I can tell you from my own experience, I lived for a long time not in that power, wanting other people to fix me and heal me. But no one else can do that. And when we outsource our power, and I'm going to speak about this a lot more in another episode. I don't want to go too deep into this one. If you can hear little footsteps, we've got little Mango who's come to join us on this conversation. But I want to go into a lot more about this, about outsourcing our power to other people in another episode. So today we'll just leave it with this concept of healing and what's going on inside of ourselves. Healing is not this big aha moment. The journey of growth and healing is actually many little ahas along the way, many little breakthroughs along the way. But life is that continuous journey of growth and healing. And you're just going to hear me talk about this all the time, because I think it's so easy to fall into this concept that if I just do this one thing, I'm going to be fixed. But no amount of diets are going to help you feel completely healed. This conditioning and this belief that when I am X weight, when I have X relationship, when I have the business or the money, then I'll be healed and fixed, then I'll be happy. It really is actually what keeps us stuck in the misery or the unhelpful and unhealthy life. It keeps us feeling inadequate. This point of inadequacy is a big one. When we don't feel powerful or good enough within ourselves, that's really the driver for looking for external solutions. And so this is why I really want to bring back to, what does healing mean to you? So instead of looking outside of yourself, what would it be like to find the courage to dive into that inadequacy and that feeling of powerlessness? Because it's only once you meet yourself where you're at and with the feelings that are coming up with where you're at, that you're going to find that you start to feel that you're becoming more healed or you're growing along the journey. And so there's many different ways that you can do this. And so the first step is really removing the shame and the feeling of inadequacy about the feelings that are coming up. This is one of the biggest things that I see helps my clients move forward and has helped me move forward, is no longer judging and trying to resist the emotions and the feelings that are coming up, but instead knowing that this is a normal part of life for everyone. We as a society love to shame people for their emotions, and especially women, or feelings. But without feelings, you can't really move through life, right? We need feelings to tell us how we are feeling, literally, right? And so what would it be like to start to embrace the feelings and emotions that are coming up for you rather than resisting them. And so healing really starts as a daily practice, as a daily commitment to yourself to show compassion to yourself for what's coming up. And so I had a little challenge for you for the next, let's say, 2 weeks. What would it be like to remove this idea just for 2 weeks? And if you want to take it back at the end of the 2 weeks, go for it. But what would it be like for the next 2 weeks to say to yourself, I am perfectly okay with exactly where I'm at. I am going to allow myself to sit in whatever comes up without trying to resist it. So I'm not going to aim for this healing moment that will magically make everything okay. I'm not going to judge myself if I'm feeling really, really low, or maybe I'm having really negative thoughts. I'm not going to judge myself for these things. For the next 2 weeks, I am going to choose a daily practice, and I'll talk you through what I'm currently doing at the moment, which I found to create some really big shifts for me. But I'm going to choose a daily practice that's right for me. So it's not about choosing someone else's daily practice. And this is really, really important because we are all so different. And we need to be picking something that suits our lifestyle and what we need, because every single person needs something different at different phases of their life. So if you're looking at some influencer who has the life that you potentially want, following their practices that they're doing now may not actually be right for where you're at. Where are you at in your journey, your growth and healing journey? And what do you need in this moment? And if you need help tapping into that, I've got a free resource, which is a guided meditation and a little booklet which talks you into how to do this, how to really tap into your body and know what you need. And this technique, it's really, really simple and really, really powerful. And I use it with all of my clients, and I use it with myself every single day. Because I used to be that person that was chasing every diet, every routine, every guru, following what everyone else is doing. And I just felt more and more stuck. And I felt that I was going backwards, not forwards. And so the biggest thing that I want to teach people, especially women, is that you know exactly what you need if you're willing to trust yourself. And this is the journey, right? It's not an overnight thing when you've been conditioned for a very long time to distrust yourself and to think that maybe your intuition and what you need is wrong, or to suppress your needs for so long. It's not just this overnight switch where you flick it and go, oh, I know what I want and I need. This is easy. It's going to take practice. So maybe for the next 2 weeks, it's you committing to, you can download the little PDF and do that meditation. It's only 10 minutes. Maybe you do that every single day for 2 weeks without expectation, without trying to get anything out of it. It's just, I'm going to show up for myself and do this and see what happens. It's an experiment. Maybe you can write down what you think might happen and then see what actually happens. But what is it that you truly need? Maybe after this, you can sit down and think about that question, have a little journal and write that down. But I'd love to share with you a practice that I've been doing for the last, I think it's about 2 weeks now. And it's just been getting up each day. I meditate each day when I get up straight away, because I know that it can be hard to create habits and make time for ourselves. So I like to ensure that I make time the moment I get up to meditate and sit with myself. And if you have kids and a busy life, it can be harder. But there are always ways to kind of make things happen if you want that and if it's right for you. So I love to get up and meditate. But the practice that I've started to be doing is I make cacao. You can make your coffee, whatever beverage is good for you. But I've been making cacao and I've been making sure that I'm really mindful with it. So as I've been making it, I've really been present. I've been looking at what I've been doing. I've been slowing it down. I've been getting my favorite cup to do it with. And trust me, if you told me this a while ago, I'd be like, this is so lame. Like, just make your cacao. We're rushing through. We're doing all this stuff. It's been really interesting to watch how much it shifted how I feel on the inside to be intentional with what I'm doing. So I'm intentionally making this cacao, and I set an intention each day when I do it. What do I need today? Maybe I need some extra love. Maybe I need some clarity. But I set that intention at the beginning of the day as I make this cacao. And I also set an intention for somebody else. So I've been going through a little bit of a difficult time at the moment, and this is a concept I shared with a friend actually. She's been doing it too, and it's actually really helped her. But maybe you're having a fight with someone. I've actually been sending love and care to this person that I've been having a little bit of a difficult time with in my life. And it's been helping me really let go of the resentment and the anger. So my morning practice, I make my cacao, I set my intentions, and I send gratitude and love to someone else in my life. And then I sit down just for a couple of moments and I drink the cacao with no distraction. And I didn't really think that this would be something that did too much for me. I just thought, let's try it, let's give it a go. And I can tell you, I have had so much clarity, insights, and ahas coming up as I do this. And quite often when I'm sitting there with my cacao, the intention that I've just set, quite a few of the answers will move through, and other days nothing happens. I may just actually shift how I'm feeling and start the day in a more positive note. Now, this may be something that you are completely not wanting to do. Perfect. What is it for you? What are some ways you can bring healing into your life that don't have to be this magical big giant thing that quite often we think is too huge and we don't have time for, so then we never do it. We never end up doing the things that are going to help us move through the feelings and help us grow or heal, because it all just seems too hard and too much. So what's a small step you can take? What's a small thing that you can do just for the next 2 weeks? One thing you can commit to. Maybe it's when you're in the shower, noticing your thoughts that are coming up and allowing yourself to be present to the sensations of the water rushing down your body. Maybe you want to try the cacao. Maybe you want to do some journaling. It could be anything. But I would encourage you and maybe challenge you a little bit to take a few moments I always find journaling or doing a body scan from head to toe, to sit with you and yourself and make that decision for you. Not looking to someone else's routine, not asking someone else. What is it you truly want and need? And how, for the next 2 weeks, can you incorporate that into your life in the smallest little way each day? This is something for you. And I'd actually love to hear from you if you do this. I'd love to hear from you what it is that you do and what ends up happening. When we set no expectations for this, we're not looking to get anything specifically out of it, but just allowing it to happen. What happens? So I'd love you to share this with me, and you can reach me on Instagram. I'll pop my details down in the show notes, but it's Deb.Sarah or The Herd on Instagram. And just share with me what you found, what you've experienced. Has it been helpful? I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you to take this time to do something for you. So I hope you've taken many little nuggets of wisdom from this episode for you. I love talking about self-empowerment and really learning to trust yourself. This is the thing. Learning to trust you in a world which does not empower you to trust yourself. A world which really does not want you to be in tune with who you are, because when you're empowered, you can create incredible change and really have a sensational life. Our next Women's Circle for The Herd is coming up in November. The dates will be released shortly, so keep your eyes peeled. You can find the Women's Circles at The Herd on Instagram, so TH Herd, and I will link the Instagram below, as I said before. We would love you to join us for a Women's Circle where we really dive into the taboo. We have really beautiful connected conversations. We go through a little bit of breath work to help you connect to yourself. And it's just a room full of really beautiful, like-minded women where we can be ourselves without the masks. It's not very often we get to really come together and be ourselves without feeling like we have to put on a face and a mask. So I hope to see you there, and thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this episode. If you got value from it, please like and share it with someone who you think could also get real value from this episode.